Hello students, welcome back to Catman Academy, and today we are going to talk about non-specific immunity, which is also known as innate immunity. So first, going into the non-specific immunity, let's talk about what is immunity actually, right? So if we talk about its definition, then immunity is the host ability, to resist infections and diseases, right? And if simply say its meaning, then its meaning is free of burden, right? And the study of different type of immune responses which occurs due to the encounter of pathogens or foreign substances in the host body. That one is called immunology. So here immunology means it is the study of different type of immune responses which produced during the infections and diseases due to pathogens or foreign substances. That study is called immunology, right? And basically immunity is your host ability to resist the infections and diseases. So immunity is also known as by the name which is called host resistance, right? So in this case, let's take an example of host, which is human being, or you can say the animals. So in the upcoming lectures, I am going to talk about only one host, which is the animals. So now we are going to see how the humans, us, or the animals actually resist the infections and diseases from various type of pathogens or foreign substances, right? So first of all, immune responses are actually generated from a rhythmically produced or rhythmically present system in our body, which is called immune system, right? Now this immune system is actually composed of various type of cells, various type of tissues, and various type of organs, which actually leads to the killing of pathogens, right? And this immune system, which is composed of cells, tissue, and organs, it actually present in the host body, right? So here what is going on? Our immune system, which is composed of different type of cells, tissues, and organs distributed whole in our body, they actually help to kill the pathogens which actually enters in the body and can cause different type of serious disease conditions. So to avoid these serious disease conditions, what work? Our immune system. And the study of these different type of immune responses is called your science of immunology, right? So immunology, it actually includes distinction between self and non-self cells. Self means the cells of host body, right? Non-self means the cells of pathogens. So this immune system also tells us what are the host cells and what are the pathogenic cells, right? By doing that, they can actually fight against those pathogens, right? And they are also distinctive in their biological, chemical, and physical aspects of immune response. Right? So immunology not only tells us about different type of immune responses, it also help our body to distinguish between the host cells, which are known as self cells, and the non-self cells, which are your foreign substances or the pathogenic cells. Right? And all those immune responses are also distinctive on their biological, chemical, and physical aspects of the immune response. So in our upcoming classes, we are going to discuss about all type of the immune responses which are being produced from the immune system for the neutralization of your pathogenic cells, right? So these immune responses, according to their categories, they are categorized into two basic categories. First category is called acquired immunity and second one is called innate immunity. So now we are going to discuss about these two type of categories, right? So let's first discuss about what is innate immunity. So innate immunity, this one is also known as by the name non-specific immune response. Right? It is also known as non-specific resistance. Non-specific resistance or known as innate or natural immunity. So it needs to be very clear to you when we are talking about the innate immunity, then it also can be named as non-specific immune response, non-specific resistance, or natural immune response. So all are the same one, which is called innate immunity, right? Another one is called acquired immunity. So acquired immunity is also named as by various names. For example, specific immune response, or it is also known as by the acquired adaptive or specific immune response, right? And this one is actually resist the particular type of foreign substance, or you can say the pathogen. By the name, it suggests that this one is the specific immune response, which means for a particular or specific pathogen, it will be activated, right? So it works only for the particular type of foreign substances or the pathogenic cells, right? But if we talk about the innate immunity, then innate immunity, it is a mechanism which is inherited. It is a mechanism which is inherited as a part of innate structure and function of each animal. And it can be skin, that is the innate part, mucus, that is also innate part, right? And different type of antimicrobial microbial mediator production. Mediator production, that is also part of your innate immunity. For example, if we talk about the mediators, you must have heard about the lysozyme. So lysozyme is the part of innate immunity, right? And the important thing is that this innate immunity, it always comes as the first line of defense. It is a first line of defense when any type of pathogen attacks the host body, right? Or you can say our body. Whereas if we talk about the acquired immunity, in that case, it only resists a particular type of pathogen, as I mentioned earlier, right? And this immunity actually, it has memory. It has memory for the foreign substances, so that when the same foreign substance attack the host body, then our body immediately release or activate the immune response against that foreign substance, right? So it is effective on the repeated exposure of the pathogens. So that is why this one is called specific immunity. And this is the major difference between the acquired immunity and the innate immunity, because acquired immunity, it has memory for the foreign substances, right? Whereas your innate immunity, it does not have memory. So this is the major difference between the acquired and innate immunity. This does not have memory for foreign substances, which means every time when the foreign substance attack the host body, it has to give the same response again and again. Whereas if we talk about the specific immunity, in that case, the first response will generate a memory, and in that case, when the same foreign substance, when it attack the host body, then it doesn't have to go different type of the immune responses, but it actually generate the secondary immune response, which will be very fast as compared to the primary response, right? Clear? So foreign particles who actually, now let's talk about the foreign substances, but they can be, so these foreign substances, which can be your microbes, right, or any type of particular foreign substance which actually provoke these type of immune responses, those are called your antigens. Those are called antigens, right? And these antigens, they actually causes the activity of specific cells, and these specific cell, they actually produce different type of reactions which leads to the elimination of your antigen from the host, and these particles are called antibody. These particles are called antibody. It is very simple. When a foreign substance or the pathogen enters in the body, that one is called antigens, and the specific cell which actually produce different type of specific response against that antigen, those are called antibody. And these antibody actually helps in the elimination of antigen, right? And these antibodies are produced in the specific response, right? So they are produced from basically from the B cells, which we will discuss in our upcoming classes, right? And the interesting thing is that both the acquired immunity and the innate immunity, they work together, right? They work rhythmically to eliminate any particular type of the pathogen. Right? So it's not like they randomly gets activated. They actually work together and eliminate the foreign particle. Right? So there are various type of cells. As I tell, your immune responses are immune system is composed of different type of cells, different type of tissues, right, and different type of organs which are distributed in our body. Right? So there are variety of cells which actually play important function in both immune responses, which means those cells actually play an important role in both acquired immunity and in the innate immunity. So for example, your white blood cells, right? These are also known as by the name leukocytes. Right? So they are divided in both systems, your specific one or in your non-specific immune response. Right? Another example is your macrophages. Macrophages, which are a major part of the acquired immunity. With them, dendritic cells are also present, which also work as the important cells for the innate immunity, right? And they provide same physiological responses. Against the pathogen. Another example of the cells is B and T cells, right? So they actually gets differentiated in response to various type of antigens. As I said, B and T cells are the part of your specific immune response, and specific immune response is only activated against the specific pathogen. Right? So B and T cells, they always get activated or differentiated according to the response to various type of antigens. And that is why this one is called adaptive response. Apart from that, there are various type of organs. And tissues involved or present in the immune system, which actually provide the supportive function. They provide the supportive function to actually nurture these cells so that they can mature, so that these cells like T and B cells, macrophages, dendritic cells, they can mature and respond to antigen. Right? So if we talk about the immune system, as I said, basically it is composed of different type of cells, tissues and organs, right? And they actually work together and produce different type of immune responses in the host body, right? So now let's talk about how many type of the cells present in the immune system, right? Which actually leads to different type of immune responses. So if we talk about again about the both adaptive immunity and the innate immunity. So simply the cells of the immune responses are of number 1, granulocytes, which are composed of neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. Right? Why they are called granulocytes? Because they contain granules in them. Right? And they are also called PMNs, which means polymorphonuclear leukocytes, which means their nucleus will be polymorphic, as you can see here. And this structure, grain-like structure, these are your granules. So on the basis of presence of granules, they are categorized into the category which is called granulocytes, right? And these granules which are released from these cells, they actually helps to kill the microbes. Another category of the cells is your agranulocytes. In this category, they are composed of macrophages and dendritic cells, and both of them are derived from monocytes. Right? You can see here your dendritic cell and the macrophages both are derived from single monocyte cell. Right? Another category of the granulocytes is your second, lymphocytes. And these lymphocytes, they are categorized into two types of cells, which are called T cells or T lymphocytes, or B cells or B lymphocytes, right? Other cells which are also a part of the immune system, those are called mast cells, and they are rich in histamines. They are rich in histamines like basophil cells, which means they also contain granules, right? Granules in which contains histamines, and these histamines are released during the allergic reactions in the body, right? Other type of cells which are present, those are called natural killer cells. So they are also important part of your immune system, right? As you can see here in the image, if we recall again, then your innate immunity, it is actually composed of granulocytes, which are your basophils, eosinophils, neutrophils, natural killer cells, right? Complement protein also, we will talk about this one also, and the mast cells, which are rich in the histamines, as like your basophils, and dendritic and macrophagic cells, which are being derived from the monocyte, right? If we talk about adaptive immunity, then it is composed of B cells and T cells. B cells here are responsible for the production of antibodies against specific pathogen, right? So this is all about the cells of immune response which are present in the immune system and work against the pathogens when it attacks the host body, right? So that's all for the today. Thank you.